Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple, your no shit gaming news video. That's 3 news stories in one video with zero faff. Aliens is one of the most iconic franchises of all time, despite actually having far fewer hits than misses at this point. Later this year, the franchise will take another hopeful swing with Aliens Fireteam, and honestly, this could be the one. And honestly, this week has been slow as hell so far, but this got me pretty damn excited. The urge to just fill this whole segment with memes and clips is too strong.
You secure that shit, Hudson.
The game is currently in development by Cold Iron Studios, which is comprised of industry veterans, and this will be the studio's first release. In addition to the trailer, which is on screen now and linked below, studio head Craig Zinkiewicz gave some extra details about what to expect. Aliens Fireteam will put you in the boots of colonial marines as you sweep through xenomorph-infested planets after Alien 3. Drawing clear inspiration from games like Left 4 Dead, you'll form a 3-man squad in a class-based co-op experience as you take on alien hives in third-person shooter combat. Long story short, it's Gears of War meets Aliens, and if you know anything about me, that's something I've wanted for years.
I only need to know one thing. Where they are.
Xenomorphs aren't myths anymore, and these marines are veteran xeno hunters who know exactly what they're in for, unlike Apone Squad in the second movie. They'll be going up against 11 different alien types, such as spitters, warriors, and bursters, and corporate androids.
I prefer the term artificial person myself.
While you face the hordes of aliens, you'll be equipped with familiar weapons like the M41A pulse rifle and smart gun, as well as some new toys like charge coils which hold Xenos in place with electricity. Presumably the iconic motion track will play a role too, because that is one of the scariest sounds in all of cinema. Each player on the fire team will fill one of 5 classes: Gunner, Demolisher, Technician, Doc, and Recon. These are pretty classic and self-explanatory classes, but some do have cool abilities. Technicians can drop turrets, Gunners can double their rate of fire and buff everyone's reload speed, and the Demolisher can unsurprisingly do a fat AoE attack. Zinkiewicz explained that each player will have a clear role that will synergize with the team, such as a Technician dropping a turret for support and holding the Xenos back with charge coils, while a Gunner and Demolisher just lay waste to the swarm. The game features 4 distinct story campaigns comprised of 3 missions each to play through, but it will be challenging with optional mutators and challenge cards, so be prepared for a game over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
The devs say that replayability is the goal, with over 30 weapons and more than 70 mods to acquire to kit out your marine, on top of perks which boost class abilities and cosmetics. All of this does sound really promising, like the game I've always wanted. But the studio has been bought and sold 4 times since its opening in 2015. First, it was founded by former Crytek veterans, then bought by Fox in 2018, then transferred to Disney when it acquired Fox, then sold to Scopely in January 2020, and finally it now sits with Daybreak as of August 2020. This revolving door of owners has been added to by the fact that Daybreak has had its own set of layoffs and restructuring over the past 2 years. Based on this trailer though, it looks like a dream come true for a co-op Alien experience, but I worry that these behind the scenes complications could impact the final product. And as always, there's the usual monetization fears, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Alien Isolation is one of my favourite games of all time, so I'm itching to get back into that universe, especially with a slightly more action-based focus. So long as Gearbox's Randy Pitchford can keep his greasy, magic-y paws off it, this game might actually be in safe hands. Fortunately, we don't have to wait long to find out, as the game is launching sometime this summer for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. If this isn't the first thing you say when you boot up the game, you deserve to get your chest busted.
Let's rock!
And next up, after the success of Jedi Fallen Order and the outright failure that was Anthem, EA seems to be learning a little something about what it takes to make games that people actually like. BioWare's upcoming game Dragon Age 4 was previously being developed under a games as a service model, however that has all changed. In a huge developmental shift, BioWare is dropping the multiplayer elements to tell a more traditional single-player RPG story. According to sources who spoke with Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, this move has been a response to a recent multiplayer flop for EA, which is pretty obviously Anthem. That game launched in an appalling state, and a development overhaul was meant to be underway, but recently EA pulled the plug on that too, meaning that game is well and truly over. The sources specifically refer to the single-player success story that is Jedi Fallen Order versus the multiplayer flop that is Anthem as the driving force behind this decision. Anthem is particularly relevant here because it was also made by BioWare, which previously only had real experience with single-player RPGs, so moving to a live service project was never going to be smooth sailing. Dragon Age 4 started life in 2015, but but development was restructured to add more live service elements at the behest of CEO Andrew Wilson and his need to wring every last drop of money from his consumers for the shareholders. In and amongst that turmoil and the troubled development of Anthem, many senior BioWare staff from the good old days have left the studio, such as Mark Dara, Casey Hudson, and Mike Laidlaw. As far as I can see, this game is BioWare's last chance, and if it flops, we may see the studio have its doors closed. But the return to a single-player model seems much more sensible and in line with what BioWare used to be good at back in the day, though that's not to say that the game will still be good because Mass Effect Andromeda was still a total bust. These developmental changes may lead to a better product in the long run, but that doesn't guarantee that product will be any good. After misfiring twice in a row with Andromeda and Anthem, Dragon Age 4 really seems like the studio's last chance to stay afloat. With many of its key developers no longer at the studio, much of that mystical BioWare magic may have vanished as if it were never even there. The game is also being built on the Frostbite engine, which is notoriously difficult for anything that isn't a first-person shooter. Fortunately, the game is a fair way off yet and won't come out until after April 2022, so hopefully in that time they can make something pretty cool, but I do have my doubts. We've seen nothing of the game yet outside of a CGI trailer and some concept art, so I'm not holding my breath until we see any more. Hell, Elder Scrolls 6 might even make it out first. And finally, as a quick update to the situation with Frogwares and the Sinking City from yesterday's video, the developer has now filed a DMCA takedown on its own game. Click the card on screen to watch that video, but the quick gist of it is that Frogwares has a legal dispute with the game's publisher. Said publisher listed a pirated version of the game on Steam when it wasn't allowed to, and Frogwares very publicly called them out and urged people not to buy it from Steam. Frogwares has issued a DMCA takedown to remove the game from Steam, and it is no longer on the platform. According to Valve's VP of Marketing, Doug Lombardi, the Sinking City has been in dispute in French courts for a while. An interim decision last fall appeared to give Nacon the right to distribute the game on Steam while the litigation proceeded. However, today we received a DMCA takedown notice for the version that Nacon recently shipped, so we have responded to that notice. You can still play the game on PC through Origin, or if you buy it through Frogwares' website, which is linked below. I'm totally behind Frogwares doing this, and it's actually really refreshing to see a DMCA takedown used on something that actually is in breach of copyright law for once. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost, hit subscribe and the bell if you want to stay up to date on all future installments, toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. That's all for today. I've been Henry Cooper. Bye for now.